Here's something that appears to have been built. We've got the logs jammed in between trees to scissor them and hold them up, which I so often see. And then you got other logs laid crosswise. It might simply just be a trail marker. Maybe a place where they had a meal, or who knows why. Here's a wallow that I had first seen last summer. I've only been up here once. And you see this. All these trees leaned up here, way up in the air. And as we pan this way, we've got enormous number of leans. Now just up above this is a spring that comes out of the hill, and it forms a basin right at the bottom, right up there. Here's the big pyramids here, and then here's all the tree leans and structures up there. I've seen all kinds of flat spots in the ground coming up here, which could very well be large footprints, or it could be anything else. But this is a neat spot, and in between the campground and a steep hillside, so hunters don't get in here. In fact, nobody gets in here. I don't know anybody that hikes from the campground that comes up here. There's not a real trail up here. Here's the remains of a shelter. I photographed this last summer. Here we've got a teepee here, probably, or just wallow structures. Very interesting wallow. I don't remember this being like this last summer. Having this mass of leans up here at the top of this wallow. Just beyond there is where we're going to find the spring. An ideal spot. That's really neat. I don't know how anybody can say that's natural. I'm sure they could follow. We got different directions. But why just this one little spot? Why not everywhere else? And notice all the aspens have the bark stripped off of, with the exception of maybe one or two. Okay, this is a structure I photographed last summer, and this has made my top 20 of all the structures I found. I feel that this was a shelter that has been taken apart. Look at all the cross branches and that was made. We've got ground fences all over the area up here. And I'm now a little above the main bunch of structures, but here's some more crisscrossed, and again, them crossed in between trees so they're held up. Here we've got a big long branch right here, and that's the butt end of it up in the air over there, across those two. So again, it just couldn't happen. I don't think that's the butt end of that one up in the air. Here, these are crossed right up over here. Quite the interesting thing, and though this is a weekend night, and the campers can be heard more. There's a lot of people down there where all week there's basically nobody in there. Right now we're far enough away we really don't hear anything. I'd imagine we'd hear traffic on the road down below if cars came by, but I'm going to hike up a little further, see if I get any sounds, and then turn around and come back. All kinds of flat places in between the wood. I mean, it looks like there's been a lot of stuff, a lot of things walking in and out of here with big, fat, flat feet. But the ground is real hard and dry, so we can't get any toe prints made. Here's another little batch of stuff right here. That's the butt end of that branch up in the air there. And here's a snag broken off up there. Okay, I just heard either a rock clack or a tree knock. Clack was up in that direction. And this is what it looks like as we look downhill. Look at that. Huge structure right there. I just heard a rock clack off in this direction. Birds usually have a reason for calling like that. Usually when something's underneath them, it's more excited and more rapid, more of an alarm. To me, that sounds more like a young bird harassing its parent for food. It's getting kind of late for that, so you notice how it stopped when I started talking. I mean, if this isn't proof of Sasquatch, nothing is. This tree that is across the trail has been bent in between two trees right there. Comes across here, the top of the little trail, and again is bent between two trees right there. Impossible to fall that way. And this is the huge structure. This is how I define a classic knot. Look at how all these are suspended in between trees, whether to protect a trail or to notify people and other Sasquatches that this is my territory, stay away. Not sure what it is. Right here is a teepee that remains, in my opinion, of a shelter structure, or possibly the same thing I'm looking at.